Welcome to Lynn Cullen Live. Talk radio without the static. Email your questions and comments to lynncullenshow@gmail.com. And now your host, Lynn Cullen.
Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the show. It's July 12? Yeah, July 12. I'm looking out my window and looking at a cardinal taking a bath in my little pond in the waterfall top part. Awful cute. It's nice to see. Anyway, it's Tuesday. That means Susan should be on the line. Hello.
Hi, I am.
Yeah. Susan just is back from traveling east, and you were in Portland, Maine, and other places around there. Is it?
I was in Portland, beautiful. Maine, and then in New Hampshire. It absolutely beautiful. You know, although what it looks like where I was to us would look almost exactly like Door County or the UP of Michigan. I mean, the forests, the way the houses are stuck in. The difference, of course, is all these buildings are about 100, 150 years older and sort of beautifully restored. And it's at least where I was, and I was out in the middle of nowhere in New Hampshire. But the funny thing is I was out in the middle of nowhere, and my son-in-law says, "Where are you exactly?" And I tell him, and he goes, "My Aunt Sharon lives there." It's a town of like 2,000 people. You know, so what are the odds? But yes, it was a lovely trip and really wonderful to experience the temperate weather of the area, which was just cold at night and beautiful breezes, and it's pretty. And there's mountains, unlike Door County. And
well, for God's sake, already. I mean, are you talking about Maine or New Hampshire here?
Both.
Both?
The White Mountains, yeah.
The White Mountains, geez. The beautiful country we live in.
It really is. And one of the things that it reminds you of is how vast it is.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
I mean, how much unoccupied land there is everywhere.
Right. Well, when you get on a plane and you fly over, that's when you really see it. So how was your plane travel?
Yeah, so I got on a plane.
Okay, so was anyone wearing a mask?
I think in the world of traveling during a rolling pandemic, which is how I've come to view it, because it just keeps going on and changing. I lucked out about as much as you could. I was at O'Hare, so busy airport, and all sorts of terrible things happened, but I was on the concourse that was at the very end of Terminal 3, so I walked outside to the very end, and there's a very teeny little security line there that no one knows about, and so I'm the only one in that. I go through, and my credit card lets me use the Admirals Club, so I went in there. So I didn't, and there was nobody in there, and then I got on my airplane,
there were people in there.
Well, there are, but the air was blasting, and everybody around me was masked.
Wow. Well,
yeah, and then I got off in Portland, walked straight out of a teeny little Portland airport and into a car driven by my sister-in-law. So it was about as easy. And then the B&B that we went to, we were the only people in it. So as travel went, and with all my anxieties, I was very happy.
You were not anxious. Yeah,
I was not anxious. Great. Every step of the way was about as good as it could have been.
All right. So that's the report back.
Right. No flight delays, no, terrible airline. Honest to God, here's the good news.
Okay, so you got really lucky.
I got really lucky, but let me say the other thing. My fear of flying has been totally eclipsed by my fear of fellow passengers.
Well, good.
It is. In some ways, it's an easier anxiety to deal with.
Well, that's good. Great. Now, you were talking about the vastness of the country. What are we, moments away from NASA showing off the vastness of the universe? They're putting out
more pictures,
more of the pictures that the Webb telescope has taken. And I have to tell you, this stuff makes my head explode.
No, it literally gives me vertigo.
Well,
contemplating that I'm looking at infinity gives me vertigo.
And you're looking at, correct me if I'm wrong.
You're looking at millions of years ago.
What we're seeing is billions of years ago.
Yeah, billions of years ago. Because it's so far away, it's taken that long for the light to go. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're seeing back at like the birth, near birth of the universe, of the Big Bang and all that kind of stuff.
We dinosaurs have to give up our landlines, except I'm on one because it works better on this for this.
Yeah. Well, son of a... I really should just get rid of it because all it does is annoy me and nobody calls on it. Every once in a while someone does, like you did the other day, which
I didn't need to.
And you left a message, which I didn't even find for 2 days later. So, because I don't even look at it. So why do I have that? I just need to get rid of it. It's annoying. Okay. So, there's that web stuff. So here's the other thing. I just wonder in terms of, when you look at how teeny weeny
and insignificant.
Well, our solar system is. I mean, I'm not even talking now. I'm not saying our Earth. I'm saying ours. I'm not even saying us. I'm saying our solar system.
I know. That's why it gives me vertigo.
That is like we are nothing. We are
nothing.
A pinprick. Okay. So how?
No, a pinprick would be a giant.
Yeah, I don't understand though how people of faith think that the stories we've told ourselves about our creation, they never talked about the tiny aspect of this planet we're on. Wasn't the whole story about right here?
Right here.
Correct me if I'm wrong. That's right. It happened right here. Well, I'm just saying. What about all that other stuff we're now seeing that's out there as well?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Lynn.
What?
It doesn't matter. This country insists that that's the story, just the way it's written.
Country.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That's where we're going. I mean, you're looking at this and pondering it, but why?
Oh, because God made the United States, and He made women to. Again, my head is exploding. I'm going to look at the pictures and say, like, wow, whoa. But then I don't know what else to do with it.
No, that's exactly right. I mean.
And the people, what is it?
We can look at, looking at the way, it's very informative if you to control our own narcissism to understand exactly how insignificant all of this is. But in reality, living in our world, in the microcosm, what we're living through is very real and very important because that's all we got.
Okay, so in other words, these pictures of the friggin' gazillion-ish huge infinite universe is just the latest bright, shiny object designed to distract us.
No, it's that research in the world goes on, but it's not. It's just another thing. It's not to distract us. It's just another thing. When did we only become capable of letting in only one thing? So I looked at the picture. I'm not so distracted that I don't know that there's hearings this afternoon, or, that I survived a trip, or, that our mother is still under quarantine for another 1,000 days. I mean, this stuff is all there.
Oh, good for you, Suze. In other words, you're living. Right?
I'm trying to.
You're multitasking. I'm trying to. You misunderstood what I said, obviously. I wasn't suggesting. Never mind. It's going nowhere. Okay, here I got a question to ask you. I went to the grocery store yesterday.
Yes.
And I've been seeing a lot of this, and I've been seeing it on my social media stuff. And I'm vaguely aware of what it is. But there is now at my grocery store a entire section that says keto.
Yeah.
Okay.
The current. Okay. Well, it's not even a current diet phase, but
no, I didn't think
it's like. Remember when a whole section was given over to Atkins?
To what?
To the Atkins diet stuff.
Oh no, but it was okay. So Atkins diet. But so keto is, I once did a diet. This is back in the day when I was still silly and did diets. I once did a diet where the purpose initially was to get to a state of keto. I like ketosis. I don't know what the hell it is, but it's when you starve your body of certain things and then it just starts burning up, you lose a bunch of weight. But you're eating strangely. That was a diet when you could eat like a 10-pound steak, but no veggies or something. I don't know. Is that what this is? Same thing.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what it is because
I think it's no carbs.
Okay, here's the way I think.
Why would it have a whole thing in the damn? I mean, these diets are bullshit. Every single one of them. It's just total bullshit,
and that's why. I stopped paying attention. I'll tell you what works if you really want to do it. Are the trackers on your watch, on your phone? And if you really want to lose weight, then you keep track of the calories you take in, and you take track of the calories you burn. And if you burn more than you take in, guess what's going to happen?
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, creating a situation where I have to start, keeping track of everything.
Well, no, I would never do that, and you would never do it. But my husband was able to lose weight that way for the first time. He got into it. And I know a lot of people that did, and it was the first time that it made sense to him that he had to exercise, that he had to move. You have to burn it.
On a million diets. You always lose weight on a diet if you adhere to it. There's no way you don't.
Yeah, but then you stop and the weight comes back
right.
Because you haven't changed your lifestyle to maintain the weight loss, which is you need to be eating a balanced diet in the appropriate amount and keep exercising.
Yeah, it's boring. So how did this keto thing gain such traction?
Because people don't like the answer, so they go for a different one, and that's exactly how we find ourselves in where we are in every regard.
But it's got its own little area in the grocery store, which suggests that there's a ton of people who are now eating this way.
Sure.
And I'm so sick of it all. Anyway. I'm in a mood.
People always like the magic answer, and and it just takes a while until they figure out it's a common sense what the magic answer is. You just don't want to do it. It's like everything else, honestly.
I'm in a bad mood. I did not realize how bad a mood I am.
I'm sorry. Did you see the really nice obituary? That would have fueled your mood. There was
no,
some guy.
because of course my New York Times didn't arrive today. It only comes every 3 days now. What obituary?
Oh no, some guy, I think in Florida actually, but his father lived in New York, I think. And he posted an obituary just saying what an awful human being he was. And he was inspired by other people's sort of nasty obituaries, or doing the same. And he tried to just be factual and not mean, but say the world was, evil does die. And he was he thought there would be a lot of pushback. And in fact, he got letters from people all over the place saying, thank you, that helped me. He did it as a way to deal with his own childhood trauma. He hadn't even spoken to the guy in 30 years, but saying good riddance really was helpful to him. Of course, Gannett said that it was against their editorial policies and they don't know how it got published. So
I see. Well,
end of the story.
Again, everything annoys me. That's like everything becomes a performance. Everything has to be, vomited into the public sphere. In order for him to come to terms with the horror of his childhood, he had to do this public. I'm sick of the public stuff, of other people's miseries. I am.
Well, okay, so I'm just gonna hypothetical. Well, it's not even hypothetically. So I'm just gonna say this to you. What the hell do you think you're doing right now?
That is exactly what I'm doing. Too fucking shay. Too fucking shay. Yeah. Well, here's why I'm so grumpy.
Right.
I did not sleep. And I was tired. And I did not sleep because I took my dog to the vet yesterday and they made him into a pincushion. They stuck 5 different inoculations into his little body. And then they said to me, he might be a little sore for 48 hours. Well, he was fine until about midnight when he just started, I don't know, I could tell I don't know. He would not sleep. He just kept staring at me with this look on his face, which said, help me. Help me. It was this pathetic look. And I knew it even in the dark. I was trying to sleep. I was saying, I've got to go to sleep. And I could feel his pathetic eyes on me. He couldn't even jump onto the bed. He was in such pain. So every once in a while, he'd sort of push. It was awful. I finally got up. I ended up outside with him at 2 this morning. I ended up, and then he's here right now because I didn't want him going out on his WALK. He's sitting here right now, hangdog, at my feet. And every once in a while, he looks up at me.
You know what?
Help me look.
Well, okay, so I'm going to tell you how to...
Why do they drill him? Why can't we, why did they do...
But you could give him something that would help him, Lynn.
Like what?
You're going to laugh at me. They make veterinary CBD that helps with pain. And it's just an oil, and you put it on top of his food, and you can buy it.
I don't have any, so...
Well... Okay, but later on today, you could go and get some.
Well, by then, maybe he'll be okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, but so there's nothing more awful than some animal you love, clearly unhappy, but can't tell you what. And
mine wasn't speaking to me yesterday.
Well, because you left him.
He had a good time.
Okay, we got to stop talking about our animals. But I just wanted to say why I'm in a bad mood. I hadn't slept, and sometimes, and I'm worried about my little guy here, and I don't know what I can do. CBD.
Yeah, it really does help.
Okay, so here's something else I don't.
And it's formulated for dogs. So
here's something else I don't understand. you see this big story they're trying to make into a big story, and I don't give a damn.
Which one?
The Uber papers.
Oh, the Uber papers. Yeah. I mean, I thought we were politically opposed to Uber years ago already.
Well, this now we're supposed to really hate them and see how vile they are and how they put people in jeopardy trying to get Uber into various major cities around the world because they were taking on the longstanding, very highly regulated taxi industry, which exists all over the world. And they were blowing up that model. So what? Is this any different than a million other innovative ideas making the rounds these days? I don't understand. They're even saying this could take Macron down.
I know.
Because he was palsy-walsy with them when they were trying to do Paris. They're an evil friggin' corporation. What? Everybody's shocked?
Right, I know.
I'm just saying.
Well, I think that's fair. I mean, somewhere between 1960 and now, we got rid of every single form of regulation on big corporation, and because remember when we broke up Ma Bell, and Ma Bell put itself back together again in the, it's just,
that didn't last.
So
I know.
Monopolies, any oversight, any suggestion that the goal is not about giving money to the people at the top and the shareholders, and the good of anybody is not to be considered. It's all a math problem.
That is the kind of capitalism we have going, and it's vile. It is vile. So why is this considered news? News is something that is new. There's nothing new about any of this Uber crap. This could be a story about, I'm sure, a ton of other corporations. Hey, I'm going to read.
Well, in fact, that's what Uber is saying. You have a call. Is that what you were saying?
No.
This is what Uber is saying. They're saying this is old news. We reacted to that culture a long time ago. All those people are gone, and we're different now. We're wonderful now. I don't know how we know this, but because it sure seems like the exact same thing to me.
I want to know.
I've gone back to using taxis. To the extent that I have to, I call a cab. Yeah. Because I'm not into ruining people. I mean, frankly, here they're cheaper at this point. The taxis are cheaper.
Well, this is a way of everything. One of the reasons Macron's going to be in trouble is that there's enough lefties with political power in France still, that they see Uber and all of these other things that are going on now, where somehow people scramble to get enough money to live on, but they are not employees of anybody. They have no benefits. It's that, the gig economy that Uber helped, along. And it's just, again, there used to be employers and employees, and there was a sense of responsibility owed by both to this partnership. That's fucking gone. I mean, it is just gone. I have to read you something.
Okay.
I'm looking for it.
Who's making it?
What?
I have to read you something. It's like I'm picturing somebody holding an AR-15 to your head.
Oh, speaking of that, I happened to read a piece about a gun show in Texas.
Where she asked about abortion?
Where she was asking about abortion, but there were two things that leapt. Is leaped correct?
Leapt.
It is leapt. You can't leaped.
No, you like
there are two things
I left to I will leap to a conclusion, but I leapt.
You sure leaped it. All right. There were two things that leapt out at me from that horrific article. And one was the guy smugly telling the reporter, you can't rape a 38. This is now women are the fastest growing, I think, demographic for buying guns now. Because we've been working on them, and now they really do feel unsafe.
Now, a lot of women feel like if they don't have a gun to shoot the asshole that's going to attack them, then what are they going to do?
Okay, you can't rape a 38, but the other was, she walks by and she's at the show, and some little kid has got a toy, I'm going to age myself, submachine gun, and he's like spraying the crowd. He's like, he's killing everybody. People. And everybody's laughing, and it's, and she walks by a woman wearing a T-shirt. And it was what was on the T-shirt that it just took my breath away.
I stopped reading.
All lives matter.
So they're for mass shootings. I thought so.
It's also a way it's a wink and a nod about killing black people. I think.
Oh, of course.
Black lives matter. All lives splatter. And there's what people can you, again, I think I understand the universe before I understand the human being who puts that on. And this is a thing. Eugene Robinson in the Washington Post wrote a piece today that's headlined, if Hershel Walker wins in Georgia, he's running for Senate, America will have lost its mind. That's the headline. And I'm thinking, what do you mean America will have lost its mind? America has lost its mind. And I, reading this, really freaked because Hershel Walker is statistically tied at this point with the Democrat, Warnock, who's a wonderful guy.
Right. And all Hershel Walker does is lie. He just makes stuff up. He knows nothing.
You could be president.
So obviously, that's a great Senate material for a Republican.
He made a big thing about, black fathers deserting their children.
By not being present, right.
And it turns out he's got what? 700,000?
Well, every time another one showed up, every day for about 5 days after he made that comment.
What level of hypocrisy do you have to be aiming for? If you have the chutzpah to go out in front of people and say things like that when you are a living example of that which you're decrying. I can't even, my God. Okay, I came across, he's also claimed to own the largest minority-owned chicken business in the United States. He doesn't.
No,
he said he worked in law enforcement. He never did.
Right.
He said he graduated from college. No, he did not. And I saw a quote, and I can't find it, of what he said. Oh, here it is. This was reported in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Now imagine, this guy is going to get potentially enough votes in the state of Georgia to bring him to the United States Senate. Here is how he described climate change. We don't control the air. Our good air decided to float over to China's bad air. So when China gets our good air, their bad air has got to move. So it moves over to our good airspace. Then, now, we to clean that back up.
It's not funny.
Can you imagine?
We shouldn't be laughing.
Okay, wait. Then I'm going to give you more. This is when the pandemic started. He said this to Glenn Beck. Do you know right now I have something that can bring you into a building that would clean you from COVID as you walk through this dry mist? I mean, this is Trumpian level insanity. And after Uvalde, here's what he said about America's problem with killing its children. Cain killed Abel. And that's the problem we have. What we need to do is look into how we can stop those things. You know, you talked about doing a disinformation. What about getting a department that can look at young men, that's looking at women, that's looking at social media? What about doing that? Looking into things like that. We can stop it that way. What the? Yeah, well, okay, yes, America will only have assured itself that it has lost its collective mind. But see, Walker's not the only one of this incredible stupidity and horror that could end up in they're already in the Senate. These awful humans.
Yeah. And they're certainly in Congress. I mean, who's Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Oh my God, don't get started on the House and some of those people. These are Republicans.
They're Republicans.
This is what the Republican Party has devolved to. And again,
or Mehmet Oz running his Senate campaign for Pennsylvania from his home in New Jersey. What could be more obvious?
He filled out a form. He misspelled the name of his supposed hometown in Pennsylvania. Un-effing believable. Okay, here's something else I don't understand. Elon Musk.
Ugh.
I know. So vile. Who's more vile? Who is more vile, Hershel Walker or Elon Musk?
Elon Musk, because I'm going to say that maybe Hershel Walker, might have brain damage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly.
We'll give him a pass. Yeah, he might. He's gotten hit in the head a lot.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is just a damaged human being and an awful human being. He's quite clearly a bit of a genius human.
He's a genius, but he's
horrible.
Also just a really horrible, not nice human being.
No, you just want him to. I don't know. I can't look at him. He makes me think fondly of Jeff Bezos, for God's sake.
Exactly.
God. So, what the hell? He pretty much, this whole Twitter thing that he got himself involved with.
Yeah, now he's walking away or trying to.
Well, apparently what he's doing, you can't do that.
Right. He has a contract. There are these things called contracts.
So,
he can do it. He's in breach, and there will be legal consequences.
Yeah, but what kind of consequences are there for a guy who, if they fine him $700 billion?
No, that's not. Well, that would maybe the contract. Maybe the consequence is specific performance, which means you got to do it. You got to go through with it. Which they could argue. Which if he didn't do it, there would be no equity.
Okay.
And law always seeks equity. So I'll be interested to see what happens. Well, that's law school language. I'm just
it is, and it's bullshit.
Well,
I get you.
That would be the legal concept.
Yes, that's a legal concept.
And by the way, the law seeks equity. This is in the civil court.
Yeah. Is Dave? We'd had callers and I didn't see it.
Oh dear.
You're operating on no. Is Dave there? Because if he is, hello. Why he be? I don't know.
Hello.
Oh, for God's sake!
Yeah,
man, that's a guy with staying power. All right.
Actually, I hung up once and called you back. I was on about 20 minutes later. Weight loss. You want to talk to me about that? In the past year, I've lost 65 pounds, and I've got 35 to go.
Good for you.
Screw all these fancy diets. You know what you got to do? Eat less. It is.
There you go. And move more.
It is that simple. First off, I'm lucky. I'm a single guy, so I feed myself. Nobody feeds me at work. There's always cookies, donuts, cake, pizza, all that sort of stuff. I ignore it all. I haven't had a cookie or a donut in over a year. You just don't. It's just like quitting smoking cigarettes. You just stop. It's that simple. And if you need some toy or gimmick or something to help you stop, that's all fine and dandy. But when it comes down to it, it's up to you to just stop smoking. Now, in some ways, quitting smoking is easier because you look at the end of the day and you say, did I smoke today? No. Okay, that's good. I'm going to do the same thing again tomorrow. Losing weight's a little bit more mind.
Because you have to eat.
You got to eat.
Well, also, you can't look at the end of the day and say, did I lose weight today? You might have lost half a pound. It might be days or a week or so before it's evident.
That's right.
What you can say, well, I didn't eat any cookies. I didn't eat any cake. I had just a little bit of food, and that's all I ate. And that's how you register your success. I lost from the first 35 pounds from June to the first of the year. I lost 35 pounds, and I've lost 30 more since then. I started going to the gym. Mm-hmm. All I do is a treadmill. I do 2 miles a day, 2 miles 2 or 3 times a week on the treadmill. I have an audiobook I listen to. I don't listen to music because listening to music is too much like watching the clock. You know how much time you have left, and you're just trying to get through it, and you hate every damn step. But if you're listening to an audiobook, it's more enjoyable. You're really enjoying the book. In fact, I go to the gym to listen to the book as much as I go to the gym to walk on the damn treadmill. And you don't know how much time you got left if you don't look until all of a sudden it's over. Oh, and you look and you've done your 2 miles. Oh, goody, I get to go home. So that's a good trick.
You know what's great about what you're doing is you are losing that weight slowly. You are not, going for that. Hey,
and sustainably. You understand. Yeah.
And like
good for you.
It's really quite simple. Just watch what you eat. Don't, you know what I used to do? Again, I'm a single guy. I would sit there and I'd make a big, huge pan of pasta and throw in 12 frozen meatballs and half a jar of sauce and sit there in front of the TV and eat it and then go to bed. Can't do that. I have a hard, it really is. You just got to eat less. And then once it starts coming off, you notice, hey, this is really working. But screw these fancy diets where you can have this. Oh, good. I can have pizza. I can have cake. No, fuck the cake, fuck the pizza. You're not having any cake. You're not having any pizza. If you're really serious about weight loss, that's what you got to do.
Well, you can have some because otherwise it becomes...
Don't. Don't. Yes, because when you say, well, I can have it.
No. You're doing the smoking model thing, and you're just saying goodbye to certain foods that were not good for you.
Which is darn near everything at this point. Now, once I lose my 100 pounds, I'm going to go back and they're going to drag me out of the sausage bar buffet.
No, but see, then you're going to go right back.
You got to stay on the treadmill. But yeah, you can have sausage a little bit. And yeah, you can have pizza a little bit.
Yeah, but don't tell yourself that. Because
not
then you're
yet.
Say, ooh, I can have it all the time. No. Just say no. Just say no. And it will work.
Yeah, boy. Oh, my. Nancy friggin' Reagan.
People who find Jesus and suddenly, usually these are people who are at the end of their ropes. Healthy, happy, go lucky people don't suddenly have big religious conversions, but drunks and addicts and stuff like that do. And then they'll tell you later on, I haven't had a drink in 10 years, and it's all God, it's all Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God, for. And you know what? I say to myself, actually, you know what? You did that yourself.
That's right. They don't credit themselves.
They don't give themselves credit. So that's something I wanted to say to you, Dave. Good for you, and feel real proud of yourself. Because that's part of the process, saying, look what I did. Exactly. I am in control, and all it takes is my brain being on my side and understanding what making a decision means.
Another thing that's helping me is I'm actually going through the VA, a dietitian. And all I do is I go in every 2 weeks and she weighs me and we talk about what I eat and I don't eat anything. But I'm also doing this as much for her as I am for me because I want to be a success for her. Imagine being a dietitian and your job is to help people lose weight. You know, it's like in baseball. If you strike out 7 times out of 10, you're a good hitter. But if you're a dietitian and out of your 100 customers, you have 5 that actually lose the weight they wanted to lose, that's pretty darn good. So I'm doing this as much my dietitian
that's
as I am
very
for me.
Sweet. You want to be teacher's pet.
She's a nice lady, and I want her to be able to say for the rest of her career, I had one guy lose 100 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
all right. Hey, Dave, you've done something miraculous. You've made me laugh.
Yeah, you put my sister in a much better mood. Thank you very much.
Yes, you did.
So, in a year from now, I'm going to be a 64-year-old buff man.
Okay, you call back in a year and report that.
We'll call before that, but we'll throw you a party.
Okay, it's all up to you. That's all you got to do. Screw those fancy diets, and you ask them why there's big sections in the supermarket for keto. Is that what it's called?
Keto.
It's not because it works, or it's not because a lot of people want it. It's because there's a big marketing push behind it. That's why.
Yes, exactly. Right.
But anyways, it's
money.
Just do it.
Thank you, Dave.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. And we've got another caller. Mike is on the line. Mike, hi.
Hey, Mike. Where am I?
See, you've lost track. I thought you're in Highland Park.
This is what happens when you dangle at the end of a phone line forever.
No, well, he has been peripatetic.
Yes,
like me. So where are you? Where are you?
I'm in Highland Park. Yeah, for a while.
Which is not my
Highland Park. Your Highland Park, right?
Yeah, Pittsburgh. Yeah.
So I come to talk about diet too. Thank goodness it's something not, related to the situation in the world.
Yes.
And what I have found, and more mansplaining to you all, sorry, but what I have found is if you don't take that first bite of cake, it's easier not to have the cake. And that I will lie to myself and I will say, I'll have a bite. Or just one cookie. And then next, all the cookies are gone. So if I just don't have that first compulsive bite, I won't eat it all. And the further I get away from eating that first cookie or that first bite, honestly, the less it has power over me. The less I say, there are cookies in there. Hey, there's cake over there. Because it's been so while, my body's like, yeah, but is there cut up cheese in there? So for me, staying away from that first bite makes it easy. And that is actually an AA thing, is they say, if you can't get drunk if you don't have a beer. Don't have that first drink. Don't have that first sip. Then you won't get drunk. So that's been very successful for me or to say another thing they teach in the program, just not today, I'm not going to have the cake. I'm not never having cake ever in my life again. Just not today.
Well, there's a lot of...
I've said before that's certainly how I quit smoking. I mean, I just put the counter on the rest of the carton on the top of the refrigerator. And because in previous attempts, I had spent all my time trying to bum a cigarette from friends, or get myself to a place. So instead, I just decided that I had to make the decision, and there they were. You want a cigarette, have a cigarette. But no, I choose not to. And that was
just not today. Yeah. And then the further I get away from that last cigarette, the easier it becomes.
Yeah, eventually, pretty soon I'd quit.
Yeah. Yeah. And you said earlier, Lynn, you don't need to smoke, but you do need to eat. But you don't need to eat cake. Right? There's no requirement for significant living
one
to
cake
eat
ever
cake.
do to you? You're really God.
What if it's a cake of tofu?
Jeez.
You can too have cake. It's just got to be made of tofu.
Or tomorrow. I'll have cake tomorrow. Right? When I'm at my ideal weight, when I'm feeling good about myself, maybe then I'll have cake. But right now my pants don't fit. I'm not having cake, and not even a bite. Thank you, it's lovely. Maybe later. There's no requirement to eat that cake any more than have that cigarette. Anyway, that's my mansplaining to you too.
Okay.
All right. Well, that works, and
I'm glad all you guys are getting in shape. It's about time.
You'll need something to look at.
No, I swear there was a guy on the airplane in the seat across the aisle and in front of me that liked to get up a lot and wearing sweatpants that needed to be tightened. And every time he got up, they fell down, and I was being mooned, by a large male ass. Let's just put it that way. So I'm happy to hear there are a few of you out there that are aware that other people, appreciate this.
Okay.
Well, for you.
All right.
Bye.
No cake
Bye.
for you.
No cake.
All I'm saying.
No cake.
Today.
Okay.
Tomorrow, if I see you and I have a cake in my cart, I'll bet up. Just today.
Okay.
You know what you've done? You have got in my head cake. And man,
she's going to a bakery.
I'm going and I'll get me a cake.
It's my fault.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
All right.
See ya.
I'll eat the
Bye.
cake while watching the hearing. Bye.
Right.
See ya.
Yeah,
Bye.
we get another hearing. That's why I have to run around all my errands. I have to get groceries and stuff.
I'll make popcorn. I'll eat popcorn.
No, I gotta have food. Although here, I have a scary story to tell you. While I was coming back, my son was running errands and having his car worked on in the city near my house. So he asked permission to let himself into my house because he had a meeting that he had to attend. And I said, of course, but there's nothing there. But I got back and he had turned on my air conditioning, thank you, and thanked me for the lemonade, which I did leave, and the ice cream bars, which I did leave. And then later I'm opening up the place where I keep my drinking glasses, and what do I find? But my big jar of lemonade.
What?
Arlie, and trying to put away his lemonade and put it in the cupboard. Ooh-wee-oo.
Well, that sounds like something, that's like the kind of thing
what we would do.
No, that's if you do stuff like that, it's like, do I have Alzheimer's?
I know. He was terrified. He immediately
wrong place.
He was worried about where the ice cream bars were, but they're right where they were.
Barbara has sent this. I'm giving up drinking until the midterm election. And then she said, oh, wait, wrong punctuation. I'm giving up drinking until the midterm election.
Eat shoots and leaves.
Yeah, where them periods are is like, important stuff. Sort of changes the whole. Okay. Wait. Okay, Suze.
Yes.
We've been doing pretty well, not.
Yes, I thought we've been doing amazingly well, and I have a feeling like we're about to stop.
Well, I'm, okay. Oh, we got another caller. Wait a minute.
Oh, cool.
Oh, hello.
Lynn. Hi, Lynn.
Hi.
It's Mary from the South Side.
Hey, yeah, Mary's been from Murraysville for decades, and moved. She just let me know I really appreciated that article you sent, although it was so horrific. I couldn't get through it. What horrible human beings. Mary's moved to the city. Yay! To the south side. What'd you move to the south side for? They're shooting guns off left, right, and center, and people are dying on the south side.
Yeah, that's on the weekends. Otherwise, it's good.
Spoken like a true American.
I love it.
Now you know I'm no stranger to crime, Lynn. What do I care?
Okay, well, so that's cool.
Well, I just want to talk about the cake and one bite and all that. There's a woman, she's really interesting. Her name's Gretchen Rubin, and she has a podcast and a book called The Happiness Project. And she talks about this. She calls these people who can not have one bite, they're going to eat the whole cake. Those are abstainers. You just got to not do it at all, whether it be alcohol, smoking, sweets.
Yeah.
But then there's other people called moderators, like my friend Betty, and she can eat one potato chip out of the bag and just leave it alone, So the moderators just have it.
Nice thing to be a moderate.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of moderates, you know what? I am so annoyed by articles that forever term Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema as moderates. That's what they call them. Moderates. How is that even possible that that's what they are? That's moderate? Destroying the entire Democratic agenda? I'm sorry, you were in a better place. But, cake.
Yeah, is there anything other than moderators and abstainers?
Well, there's other categories. Like, I would just say a person's cheap, but she calls them underbuyers. There's the people that don't go to Sam's Club. They just go buy what they need and use it. And, they don't. But then she has the overabundance lovers, which are like the people more is more, like you go to their house and it's like a pack rat. There's stuff everywhere. She has polite terms for other, you know what I mean? Like she's updated how we used to say things to be more, I don't know.
Forgiving.
Polite, I guess. Yeah, forgiving, just explaining it, She says, the one term she didn't update, there are morning people and, not morning people. And she's like, either one is fine. Just, it's the way you're wired. But she's kind of interesting. She was a clerk for Sandra Day O'Connor, and then she decided she hated law and wanted to become a writer. So.
Well, good for her. That's a rational decision, and you have to be a good writer to clerk. So she had the skills.
She does have mad skill, and she works like hell. But she is also married to a hedge fund manager. So
Oh, and then there's that.
Oh, nice.
Alrighty.
Yeah, some people have all the luck.
All right, Mary. Well, enjoy your new neighborhood, and welcome to the city.
And be safe out there.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Oh, dear. Well, maybe the prices are going down on the South Side since they become, since it's Pittsburgh's new murder capital. I don't know. Okay. So,
yes.
We were so close to.
Now we have 6 minutes, so go for it.
I got nothing here that's not going to be depressing. Or, well, it's not depressing. It's just not cake. It has to do with the friggin' Supreme Court. Hey, by the way, that thing about Kavanaugh going to Morton's Steakhouse?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the right is freaking out because there were protesters outside Morton's.
Yeah.
Who were not in Morton's. They were outside Morton's. They couldn't see him. He couldn't see them. He couldn't even hear them. And you would think he had been, Yeah,
this man has,
Whatever. He's probably was crying. He left by a side door after he finished his porterhouse. So, turns out that there's a group called Shut Down DC. And
yeah, they're spying on where people are going out to dinner, and then they'll go right out there.
What they've done is they've put out feelers to wait staff at all the better restaurants in the DC area, and have said, if one of these justices is in your restaurant, let us know. And a specific, way to call. That's how they found out Kavanaugh was there.
Right.
And they pay the people.
Yeah.
They pay them $50 for each sighting and $200, I think it is, if by the time they get enough people together to actually mount a protest, the justice is still there at the restaurant. They get $200. So now all these restaurants in DC are making wait staff hand over their phones while they're working. They're freaking out, and I don't.
Some of them are, some of them aren't. Some of them, are perfectly willing to do that. And what was the restaurant? The something hen, the woman that asked.
She asked that awful Huckabee Sanders to leave.
And
that was a few years ago.
Yeah, and she's
who, by the way, is about to be the governor of what? Arkansas. These horrible humans.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if you don't like the exercise of free speech in this country, but this is the natural consequence of taking away a constitutional right from women. And we're unhappy about it, and we have every single right in this country to let you know. And you've made sure that women couldn't access perfectly legal health care in the past without being screamed at and threatened. And, you made very clear that was perfectly okay. Well, you're just a citizen, guy. You're just a citizen. You're not more of a citizen than we are. You're just a citizen. And we don't lose our First Amendment rights when you're, within the vicinity. Sorry. That's right. Comes with the territory, jerk. So this is the way I'm going to end, because I hang on to this. Henry initially sent me this, but I see it every now and then. It's whoever, I've seen it attributed to Gloria Steinem. I don't know that is where it, it doesn't matter. It's good. How about we treat every young man who wants to buy a gun like every woman who wants to get an abortion? And stop and think about this. Think about this. Mandatory 48-hour waiting period. Parental permission. A note from his doctor proving he understands what he's about to do. A video that he has to watch about the effects of gun violence. And let's close down all but one gun shop in every state and make him travel hundreds of miles and take time off from work and stay overnight in some strange town to get his gun. And then finally make him walk through a gauntlet of people holding photos of loved ones who were shot to death. People who call him a murderer and beg him not to buy that gun. Yeah. And
absolutely.
It's fascinating. I mean,
I really do think we should start being out in front of every gun store. I mean, we know this. The only way change happens is to make it too uncomfortable to stay the same. So the democratic instinct to sit down and just vote is really not enough. And if you do have the instinct that we've got to do something, well, that's something that we can do. We can exercise our First Amendment rights, and we can make it difficult and unpleasant for people to exercise their Second Amendment rights. Let's do it.
All right. And with that, we did it. Thank you, Susan.
You're welcome.
And I know the audience is extremely glad that you were here, because to have been subjected to only me today would have been
pretty deadly.
Cruel and unusual punishment, to be sure.
Well, cheer up, dear sister.
I want to thank the callers for helping me get out of this god-awful mood. But I'm now looking at my dog, who's looking at me with his head down and his eyes supplicant. That didn't make any sense. Supplicating.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So there's that. And by the way, you know what all those shots cost? And just going to a vet for an annual physical?
About $620.
No, almost $500.
Yeah, I was up there. Yep.
What?
Everything is a privilege these days in America.
Ah, jeez. Okay, I'm going to get myself upset again. Goodbye.
Goodbye. CBD for the dog. CBD for the dog. CBD for the dog.
Okay.
Bye.
And everybody watch the hearings. The best show on TV. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Lynn Cullen Live, Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at pghcitypaper.com. The opinions expressed on Lynn Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper or its advertisers.